All right. We are live.
All right. Hello and welcome everybody to our live. This is the first live you're going to be seeing us on as the Lunar Goddesses. Joining me today in all their beautiful glory is Miss Kim Warner, Jasmine Tony, and Naila Oni of Naila Oni Speaks. So ladies, just say hi so everybody hears your voice, sees you, identifies you.
Greetings.
Hello.
All right, we're coming to you today because energy is all around us, right? Of course. So let's tap into that energy and figure out what's going on. The ladies are going to do this by method of tarot cards and pulling. I don't do tarot yet. It is to come for me, I believe. I don't do it yet, but I can read cards and I can read the energy and intuitively know. So I'll also be here to break it down and explain while I build up my tarot abilities. So Jasmine, if you would take it over now, please, my dear.
Yes. I am going to, we have hookers. I'm not going to take those though. I'm going to be using my Blunt AF deck. It's one of my favorite decks. And I don't think the woman who makes them or used to make them, I don't think she makes them anymore. So we have, oh, happy day. So something to celebrate. Something to celebrate. Oh, and then we have fallers today. We have fire and desire with the 444 at the bottom. And I just want to say, whenever you see synchronicities, it's good to have a general meaning, but please make sure you're meditating or tapping into spirit, however you tap in, and getting the message that's specifically for you. Because whenever you see those messages, the numbers aren't the message. You have to tap in and be like, hey y'all, hi friends. What y'all trying to tell me? And then lastly, we have, for this deck, we have the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. So major transformation, major change. And I love that. It's a good time because we're stepping into the spring, which I believe is the new year, because we're starting off, we're going to be transitioning into Aries season. And Aries season is all about new beginnings, about taking that leap, about taking that jump in action. But also it's about aggression too. So watch your tempers.
I also thinking about the connection of those three cards, like oh happy day, fire and desire. When you're having a happy day, you are energized, right? You feel great. So the best way to utilize that energy is into what you desire. Your desires are your passions, your passion projects, your purposes, the things that like light you up, because then that gives you more of a reason to celebrate. And then to be going through a transformation from becoming a caterpillar where you're in this chrysalis and then you become a beautiful butterfly is reaping the benefits of that transformation and being able to celebrate that. So just think about how that can all go in a circle and utilizing that energy to catapult you forward.
And on the flip, you want to go ahead, Nye?
No, I was just going to add, I like those cards and just thinking about the fact that we're approaching Aries season and the new beginnings. It just, it's so synchronistic, and which is why I think I pulled the Lover's card. Just major choices, love, self-love is what I initially think of. And, leaving Pisces season, which is like the death, right? The death of the old, and then moving into the Aries seasons, which is the rebirth. I don't know about y'all, but I know I've been doing a lot of purging this Pisces season, and, the Lover's card showing up just is so on point to me. Just relationships, love, partnerships, your desires, even like the things you've been working on. Have you planted the right seeds for this new rebirth? And everything does take time, which is why I think I pulled the Page of Swords, which is very synchronistic too. That's just like a delayed thing. So just, sometimes we get discouraged or impatient because things aren't showing up in a timely fashion, but the news is coming because you've been doing the work. The love or whatever it is you're looking for is coming. The job, the business, the new relationships, the new social network, the new partnerships, communities. But it might be a little delayed, but delayed doesn't mean denied, right? So I think yeah. So that's what I pulled for that. And then I pulled an oracle card, and we're just freestyling here, and I pulled the Eight of Earth, and this is about apprenticeship, gaining knowledge, learning and employing a new craft or skill. So I mean, you can't get more synchronistic. Like these cards are like talking to each other, I feel. So I'm just going to read this. It says, even masters of their craft have more to learn, and I eagerly embrace the opportunities to go deeper, develop a greater understanding, and find new ways to apply what I know. I acknowledge all that I have learned and accomplished, the skills that I have developed, and the goals I have reached. Now it's time to find new ways to apply what I know, embrace my expertise. My beginner's awkwardness has melted away, and I know what I am doing now. I have the confidence to become more intimate with the work in all areas of my life. So I think I'm going to grab that message, and I think you should too.
I just grabbed that based on the conversation I had with Jasmine last night.
Okay.
Me tapping into a part of me that I forgot. And that's part of the reason why I feel so good today, because I'm literally like, boom, it's a new beginning and I'm about to rock this. So thank you. I will take that and put it in my back pocket.
Right, I'm gonna take that too. And while Nye was pulling cards, I pulled the animal spirit decks. I love these cards because I love animals. Anybody knows me knows I love animals. I will steal your dog if I possibly could. And so I pulled the octopus, which is water energy. But what I like about this card is that octopuses on the on the shadow aspect of octopus, it's like you're too much in your brain, so that means you're overwhelmed with your thinking, so you're scatterbrained and it's playing out in your actions. So basically the octopus card on the shadow aspect is telling you that you need to ground, you need to get somewhere, you need to get centered, you need to exit out of all those mental tabs that you have open, especially because if you look here you see all of the colors, so these are all the thoughts that you're thinking. And then we have the rabbit card. Now, the story behind the rabbit card is the rabbit is hopping along the forest with its friends, and it's speaking very loudly about how one day a bird of prey is going to come down and swoop it up. And it keeps talking about this every day, day after day after day after day. And so one day a bird of prey is like, that sounds like a really good idea. I was just flying, minding my business, but I could use a little rabbit snack. And what happens is the bird of prey swoops down and carries the rabbit away. So whenever I pull the rabbit card, it's what are you speaking into existence in your life? Are you speaking into your fears? Are you speaking so loudly, so boldly about your fears when you're manifesting them? Because as you know, rabbit energy or rabbits in general, they're very, very skittish. Any slight little sound and they're like, what was that? I'm running and hiding. And then we have the dragonfly, which is which is air energy. But I like this card so much because it has the elemental or alchemical sign of water behind it. And dragonflies in this deck talk about mastery. Whenever I see this card, I see the mastering of your emotions, which makes sense with that these two would be the first two cards that come out. You have the dragonfly, you're mastering your emotions, you're mastering your thoughts, you're becoming a master of self.
Nice. So, while you were talking, I was shuffling and pulling, and I said, why did I pull this card? Right. But then once you started talking, it all made sense. And it is the devil card. Okay. So we know that the devil card can be like negative thoughts, negative thinking, bondage, the way we hold ourselves back, all of those different things, right? And it could also, just give us like a seeming loss or a seeming roadblock. But then I pulled the Chariot. So this, don't get caught up here. Don't get caught up there. Keep it moving. And the Chariot card is movement, overcoming those obstacles, success. So yeah, I like that. I pulled those cards after. I was like, why? But then when I pulled the other card following that, it was it made sense. And I don't know. This is the story we're telling, right? This is clearly a story that's unfolding through these cards. To me, says what you've been working on. Don't, you know what I'm getting? Don't get caught up over analyzing, because that could be the mental bondage too. Over analyzing what it is that you're doing, and letting it hold you back. No, push forward. I learned a new term this week, and it's do it messy. And I've been doing it messy. So just do it messy. Do it messy, but do it.
Yes, I used to get caught up in what we call analysis paralysis.
Yeah, me too.
You're like, I gotta figure it out everything. It has to be perfect. It has to be this way. And now I'm just like, you know what? If my hair is a mess when I record, my hair is a mess when I record. If I have a whole bunch of typos, I could go back and edit. It's fine. So I love that, to do it messy.
Yeah, and I listen. I'm a Virgo ascendant, so we are the kings and queens of perfectionism. So I've had to really overcome that. Okay. And now I'm just embracing doing it messy. And you know what's so interesting? What we think isn't perfect, other people, when you get the feedback from other people, they're like, oh my God, it's amazing how we get caught up, and it's not ever what we think it is. Yeah.
I want to talk about, not to interrupt you, Jasmine, but before we get too far and you guys pull more cards, I want to talk about the stories that I watched on these cards and the duality. So Jasmine pulled, the first card that you pulled was the octopus, emphasizing your mental, right? And then the rabbit, emphasizing what you speak. These things are connected because everything that comes into your mind, if you are very effective with communication, and even sometimes when you're not, you're going to blab it. And when you change your mind, you change your speech. When you change your speech, you change your mind. But all of that is connected to your emotions, right? Because if how you're not feeling so hot, then your mind is reflecting that. And then now you're saying it. And now you're looking at yourself in the mirror like, well, I felt ugly yesterday. I feel ugly today. And then somebody affirms it like, yeah, you look ugly. You look a mess. And now everything is coming true. You got your self-fulfilling prophecy of everything being in a negative state. Now, interesting, when I pulled the Devil card and the Chariot, the Devil card represents Capricorn energy, right? And we know that because of what we study in our moon classes and all of that. So that connection. And whenever I see the Devil card, what I always think about are the change, because it's what you're bound to and it's what you're holding on to, right? So it's what you're holding on to, these things. And then the Chariot representing Cancerian energy and it being movement. The moment that you decide to break those chains and move away from them, you are now mastering your mind, your words, and your emotions. Like, it's just, when I listened to that whole thing, I said, wow. Aside from knowing that we're all tapped in and we're all able to make these connections and we're all able to read it and understand it, it's how seamless they're all flowing together. Each pull is reaffirming what we know, but also what whoever is watching needs to understand. You have to make that mind connection with your feelings and overcome that. And when you do it, you're no longer bound to those previous negative thoughts that you had, previous things that somebody told you about you, whatever situations you've dealt with. It's gone. Something that I learned, that I had to teach my daughter. She came home, she was real upset with a situation that she had with a teacher. And I said, baby girl, if you know that that's not you, it doesn't matter. And it's in the past now. So what do? We move forward and we act on ourselves and we are better. So it's constantly reminding that what happened in the past does not dictate who you are now. And you have the ability to change it by breaking those chains and moving forward, changing that mind, changing that speech, and moving forward. So I just wanted to give everybody that, because I want to break it down. Not that we get caught up in our understandings of things, but sometimes that little breakdown gives somebody that full, like, oh, I didn't understand it that way.
Thank you for that. That was really good. Jasmine, what you got for her?
I pulled from my African Goddess Rising deck. It's becoming one of my favorite decks. I have Level Up, and I have Speak Up, and then lastly I have Cosmic Power. And I always connect this card with duality, like accepting both parts. Like you see in the back, it has two moons, one dark and one, and then actually no, that could be the sun, but I'm also getting it that it's the moon, the full moon. So it's the full and the new moon. So accepting both light and shadow aspects of yourself. Because once you start accepting those aspects of yourself, all aspects of yourself, you come into like your power. You step into like this powerful you, like your authentic self.
I like that.
I also like that imagery on that card, because it's kind of like what we understand from our moon classes and about the moon is that it's information that's hidden to you. But when it's illuminated in that full moon, it's no longer hidden.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you the opportunity to release it and then walk into that new moon, planting new seeds and creating your newness, which is super on point, because Aries season, we've now planted everything's, and now we're heading into the spring, which is for us to bloom, for us to step out. You don't have to have a hot girl summer or a hot boy summer, but it's time, like, level up. As soon as you said level up, I heard the Ciara song, like, level up, level up, level up. It's time to level up your life, to move forward and upgrade yourself. So yeah.
I like that. So I pulled the Knight of Swords, which is big changes and opportunities, seizing the moment. Good new things coming in, old things going out. And then I pulled the King of Wands, which is leadership, right? That's like our leadership card, being in charge, being decisive, right? So making a decision and moving forward with them, not too hasty, but slow and steady wins the race is what they say, right? So, and this is also could be optimism, like unexpected income coming in. And then I pulled the solar plexus chakra card, right? So that's our willpower, taking responsibility for our lives, taking control. So this is all, to me, this is all new Aries season stuff, like coming in, declaring who you are and moving forward in the newness, the rebirth, So and again, this theme of love keeps coming up. This is the memories of love card. And when I'm intuitively just thinking like that inner child, that innocent love, that pure love, and remembering that the innocence behind it, not the stuff that we add to it, the dramas, the stories, but that innocent love, and tapping back into that, remembering that, holding that light, that inner light. So yeah.
You know what's crazy? When you pulled that card, I got Maxwell Lake by the Ocean song stuck in my head.
Ah,
And
nice.
that song is about not having like a reckless love, but having a love where it's solid and um healthy.
Yeah, that's dope. What you picked up from that, Ashley? I know you did.
Oh, so much was coming in. It's when you started speaking about the inner child and that type of love. I always, whenever I think about the inner child or I get imagery of it, it's always just like the willfulness and the beautiful aspect of children not knowing each other, walking into like kindergarten, first grade, preschool, and understanding like we're all friends and just like loving and embracing each other and playing, like the endless play, the endless fun, the laughing, the pure enjoyment of love. Um, when you love like what you do, when you love yourself, when you love your friends, your intimate relationships, all of those things, it's just fun and there's laughter and all of that. And I think Nye and I had a conversation where she was like, it's about being social and just laughing and enjoying. And for me, that's top tier. Like personally, for me, that's top tier. When I'm able to just like enjoy a moment, I think Jasmine and I do this like all the time. We'll be in the midst of a serious conversation and it'll be like, side note, let me just tell you about this funny moment. And then we're laughing for 10 minutes and then we segue right back into the serious conversation. That for me is beautiful. And I love that in my friendships and in my experiences because that's me being my truest self. So that type of love you have to have for yourself first, right? That's that self-love, loving that inner child, that inner teenager, that inner young woman. And for men, it's the same, that inner young man who might not always be the happiest, might have gone through some stuff, but when you love them, it's boundless. And remembering that was, when you said that word remember, it was key for me because it was like, we get older and we forget. And when you tap into remembering that, like for me, my new thing is chef's kiss. Like that's my new thing. And that's what that is for me. Is nothing better, nothing better. And why not utilize that energy and tap into that for Aries season? Aries is your identity. Aries is everything about you. It's your first house. So you walk into that and it's everything. And if you approach that situation with that love and you remember that love, what's stopping you?
Yeah, that's so on point. And you know, when you mentioned that made me think of this morning, like before I got out of bed, I like to, reflect and think and tap into myself. And I was having a real serious conversation, just, taking stock of, different things that's going on in my life. And this came up, that child, that pure love, that innocent love. And what helped me get there is because I looked at, I you know how when you go on social media and you'll end up somewhere where you don't even follow the people, but you'll end up somewhere. So I ended up somewhere and it was this guy and he was just there having a moment with his son. And it was like just looking at him and his son, it was so sweet. And I just shed a tear and I was just like, it was so pure, so pure. And it just made me remember, it helped me as I was doing self-reflection to remember, like, that's that energy, that pure, you know, when you're young and your parent or your caregiver, whoever, they're your everything. And you could just see that pureness in his eyes. So in my reflection, it was like deading things that don't matter anymore. Sometimes we'll be holding on unknowingly, unconsciously to things that we think, oh yeah, I've moved on, but somewhere hidden there's a pocket. And if you just do some self-reflection, it comes up, because it came up for me this morning. And it was about moving on, which is the 8 of Cups card that I just spoke. Moving on from the abandonment, the abandoning your plans for yourself. You know, sometimes we let our situations, even though they may be difficult or challenging, I'll say, stop us from moving forward. When we, think, oh, well, I'm an adult, I need to do adult things. Let me just abandon my dreams and plans. No, hold on to that innocence, that purity, reaching for the stars, going forward. So when you said that, it just reminded me like how this is just all so synchronistic. I love it.
Me too.
I do too. And one thing about children, they remind us to have this unfiltered, unobstructed sense of joy. Like they are happy. Like anytime there is little kids on my flight, I try to steal them away. I bring them back to their parents. But they just happy. They're just smiling. Like they are unaffected by life. And I feel like as we grow older, we lose that. We lose a sense of that. It gets buried with all of the constructs of adulthood or of growing up. And like you said, it's remembering how to get back to that, because once you get back to that, I feel like life is so easy. Like life gets easier because you're able to tap it. You're like, you know what, let me laugh at myself real quick. Like let me stop taking myself so seriously and let me laugh at myself real quick. Like especially like when I'm having conversation with Ashley knows how goofy I am. I could be my goofiest self and like we will have serious, heart-wrenching, like tear-jerking conversations. And I'd be like, you know what? I tripped yesterday. I almost fell down the flight of steps, but that's fine. Because I laughed at myself because it was my fault. I shouldn't have been dancing so close to the steps or something like that. And it's just like you have to be able to tap into that, because life isn't all work. I have to go. It's enjoying that. If you can't enjoy what you're doing or enjoy yourself and what you're doing, then why are you doing it? It's a question that you should always ask yourself.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about we may go through things, and you talked about the joy that the children have, and they never lose that. So they just, they could be in a horrible situation, not knowing or not, well, that's subjective, horrible situation, right? Because it's just the lens that you look at it. But I think we have to also remember, like, things aren't always what they seem. So to stop attaching definitions to situations, and that was something that came up for me, I think last night or this morning, is to remain neutral. Like, don't react or respond to everything or no thing, really, right? Because it's not always what it seems, which is so synchronistic again, because I pulled the Magician card, and that is about manifestation, creativity, magic, transformation. So again, things not being what they seem, having, your willpower, visualizing and manifesting really your desires. So not getting stuck in these places that we really don't want to be, and to keep that childlike joy and innocence and neutrality and just keep moving forward.
I think that side note, this morning I was watching Harlem because I got to get caught up on my shows. And the last episode was called Joy, 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 Joy. And they speak about that, like, what is joy to them and how do they tap into that joy and how do they experience that? And it was so interesting that each thing that they brought up is something that children love. Children love to be seen. And that was the first thing. When you see them, it's like, you see me? You know I'm here? let's play. And that's it. Like, and it's a true, genuine happiness that comes from inside of them. The next one was family. Children relate and identify with their family, and that's how they see themselves. And whether it's the family you're born into or the family that you choose, having that identity and relating to those people is amazing. The next one was power, and having that power, that inner power. It's not about like an abuse of power or the patriarchal power that we're aware of or societal power. It's that inner power where you walk into a room, you're confident, you feel good, and like, I'm here and I'm just here to enjoy. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember the last one because it was a little while ago and I'm really immersed in the situation, but understanding how deep joy goes in for anyone, for all people. It's like a universal language, kind of like how love is universal, joy is universal. So, and then childlike joy, does it get any better? Honestly, like, no, because it's, as we've been thrown on the word, it's pure. It's not caught up in any of the crap, any of the labels, any of the stuff that we put on things, because you don't have to worry about the bill because the bill is going to be taken care of because you're joyful and because you know what you're working in, what you're entering in, that it's all around you. And if you keep that joy, like, it's just, sometimes I wish people could see the images in my mind because they play like a movie. The way that it is just like, you just are happier and more elevated and more of yourself. Honestly, speaking about this, it's almost like it's pulling at my heart and almost making me want to cry, but not like in a bad way, like just cry such happy tears, because when you see someone in that, it's kind of like, wow, I love that for you. And like, if you love that for them, love that for you. And it's transformational. Like, whew, whew.
And I think about loving that for them, people don't realize, which is why jealousy really needs to be out the window. Because if you could see something and for somebody else and in somebody else, that means you have the capacity to see it for yourself, right? So you should never be envious or jealous of other people. Know that because you recognize that thing in somebody else is because you have it. You have it within you, right? So, but I don't mean to skip you, Jasmine. But as you were talking, actually, I pulled up the Nine of Wands, which is about that resilience and that having that resilience in that ongoing battle that we sometimes have within ourselves, right? And yeah, you get tired, your energy gets strained, but have patience, right? Have patience, and accept everything that is happening is in divine order. And don't doubt, release the need to know all the answers, right? Because as we know, that's not how the universe works. The more we try to be in control of everything and every aspect, the more resistance is there, the more tension is there, and the more things are fixed and don't move, feel stuck, right? So we have to trust and have that faith that everything is in divine order. Is happening in divine order, and have that patience. Something that I just noticed about both of these cards is how the yellow, which is the solar plexus, which we pulled earlier, also the green, the heart chakra, and then the blue, that's our throat, the red and the orange, that's like the root and the sacral chakra. So yeah, it's about elevating and
Absolutely.
not worrying. And
Now, while we could stay on here all day, honestly, and talk all day, because this is what we do and what we can do. We're not going to keep all of you. We appreciate you all for hopping in, taking a look. We're going to work out our scheduling and be letting you guys know when we'll be coming on. So look for our page coming soon, Lunar Goddesses. For our follows, you can get all of our information from there. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We love you. We hope you guys can take something from this and utilize it and move forward, because this energy is all around you. So you can always tap into it and allow it to push you forward.
And check the description, and like a little while, our channel information will be in there. All right, ladies, this is fun. Jasmine, you have a final message for us?
No, that was
No,
all.
you good?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was all. Thank you. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
It was a good time. Maybe Miss Kim is in earshot.
Definitely,
She could stop our live.
definitely stay on here all day.
I know, right?
Just
And you know what? The energy is just flowing.